You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Thank you for joining me, the Oracle of Apollo, and you are watching Divine Encounters. I am your hostess, Dominique Rivera, and today is Wednesday night, which we are going to bring you a supernatural story time here today. And I'm super excited about this episode. It's going to be all about the dark night of the soul and the transitioning of the many facets that we have to go through to embody who we want to become. And I'm really inviting you guys in today to soak it up. Hello, Lori Gianetta. I hope you are well. Making sure that you guys are sharing this feed, and that way other people can come in and experience the energy that's going to be unfolding within this episode. And of course, we're going to be doing your energy clearing today. We're going to have the theme of the midweek, your midweek collective energy check-in at the end of the episode as well. So it's going to be a powerhouse full of fantastic information that will help you grow and expand. If this is your first time watching, welcome. Each week we have a different guest with a supernatural story that uplifts and inspires people. And if you are all about positivity, inspiration, and expansion, check out my free group, meetup.com/awaken Philadelphia. Here I have different meditations and group healings and things that you can participate in. And of course, if you enjoy in participating in things and you are keen to manifest, check out my Facebook group, Seekers Challenge Room. I put up a weekly challenge, and this allows you to have adventures exactly where you are at, wherever you are in the world, so that way you can manifest things that are bigger in your life, bigger adventures. All right. So I'm really excited to have everybody here. And yeah, okay, I see that we're having video quality issues. I am not sure about that. Okay, let's see what is going on. Let's reset and see what's happening. Hold on. Okay, that looks like that solved that problem. Sorry about that, technical video difficulties. All right, so let's bring our guest on for the evening. Why don't we? And we're bringing on Sean today. So go ahead and smash those hearts. Make sure that you're following, subscribing, turning on the bell. That way you're notified when I'm live streaming, which is every Wednesday and Sunday night. And give a Divine Encounters warm welcome to Sean. Hi, Sean. Thank you for being here.
Hey, Dominique. Hey, how are you?
I am doing well. So this is your episode, take 2.
It sounds good. It's a pleasure to be on the show. It's a blessing. I haven't been able to really share this story in depth because I haven't really met too many people that have had this type of dark night of the soul kind of life path experiences. So I'm really grateful to be able to share it on your show. So,
well, great. I'm glad that you're happy that you're able to celebrate yourself in this way and witness yourself in this way, and let people know just a little bit about you and what you do.
So I work in the healing arts for the last 15 years. I used to be a working construction / personal trainer. And then once I had an awakening about 15 years ago, it kind of went into more of the spiritual paths, which led me to teaching like meditation, yoga, also relationship counseling, all those types of things that I wanted to be able to give back through the journey that I was on. when I was younger through all the lessons that I've learned.
Wow, it's almost so you
Yeah.
became what you needed, who you needed in your
Came
life.
totally, totally, and so much more. I found myself. I found
Wow,
myself that I'm not the body. I found myself that I'm more than just my mind. And through inspiration of my soul, I've been able to lead more of a heart-centered life. So,
Mm, that
yeah.
sounds so beautiful.
Hmm.
Wow, I got energy from that. Whew, I
Yeah,
was just like, whew,
yeah.
I just breathed that in.
Yeah, and going through the pain that I've went through and seeing the pain that I went through in my life, it just inspired me to want to help more people, because since we're all connected and we're all the same divine mind and the same ego, I just got sick of tired of feeling that within, which inspired me to help so many people to get out of suffering.
That makes
So,
perfect sense. I'm so honored to
hmm,
have you. And
yeah,
I'm going to
thank you.
let people know at home what happened when I called you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I I had thought I was calling someone who was on our shadow episode last year, the John and Guy episode. And so confidently I called Sean, like, oh, I want to
Oh my God.
bring you back for a solo episode. And
Oh,
he
that's
was
what's
like,
up.
I've never been on your show before.
I've never been on your show before, but yeah, that's a, and that was a John of God. It was,
Yes, and we were talking about the Netflix documentary that came out about him.
oh yeah,
So, and I
and
had
I met
visited him
him.
twice.
Yeah,
Um,
me too. I actually had a pleasant experience. Not that other
yeah, I had a
experiences
pleasant
were.
experience
Yeah.
too, but things happen that it doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it doesn't happen, kind
Have
of.
right, exactly. Yeah, totally. Not
Yeah,
everything is for everybody.
exactly. And that's the same thing with this path. It's not for everybody.
Hmm.
Um, and so I like to start off every episode with what we call the good news, Sean. And
Okay,
so we
great.
have a special card for today that we're going to read
Mhm.
about, we're going to learn about. And so to that I say to everybody at home, I hope you're watching because we're about to start the knowledge bomb. So what's
That's what's
good?
up. Yeah, let's take it up.
All right. So the first card, well, the only card that we have here today is the Temperance card. And hopefully we're in the middle. We are. Fantastic. So here are her keywords, and they are harmony, balance, the middle path, avoiding excess, blending energies and ideas, alchemy,
Mm,
finding purpose, the Goldilocks zone. I've never heard of that, but I
yeah.
like that. The Goldilocks zone,
Huh.
meaningful encounters and turning a life lesson into spiritual gold, patience, and healing. The prompt today is measured moderation, and I'm going to read the message for today. So let's get
Okay.
into it.
Awesome.
The gods took equal parts, fast and slow, equal parts material and spiritual, and equal parts she and he. And they mixed them in their lotus cauldron as they stirred to life the muse of temperance. They needed this balance of malleability in the world, for her voice of reason would bring them together in a beautiful blend of oneness.
Hmm.
Temperance does not jump to excess. She doesn't rely on the dark or the full moon. Instead,
Hmm.
she is a mosaic of parts, and she melts it all together in a way that spins the best of the best of the best into one. She
Hmm.
weaves purpose and harmony into the lives of others, and her greatest alchemical gift is the treasure of healing. She
Hmm.
reminds you to turn despair into the gift of patience and blend the need to thrive with the need to enjoy. When you walk the middle path that is available to you, what areas find greater balance? And here's the little poem that it has. I am the divine weaver of duality. I hold you. I am essence. And our evolution of becoming is rooted in the mixing. So that is our
Hmm.
message for today. Sean, you
Mm.
know, usually these theme cards relates to the story. That's just what usually happens. But tell me, how do you feel about this card that popped up today for us?
I think it's always important to have, both in that balance of, masculine and feminine, and be able to wheel in that energy together so that you can be able to not to be too excited or not too scared. So it gives you that middle path to be able to feel spirit in a way that you can be, I guess, at peace. You can hear spirit's voice in a way so that you can come from that higher place of knowledge,
Yeah,
and
I
you can
agree
feel,
with that.
yeah, you can feel that real peace, not the overexcitement peace, but just that real subtle peace, right? So you feel that it's not like control, but it's real grounded. It,
Yes, I agree. I agree. And it's interesting because somebody out there might be thinking, well, if I'm excited, doesn't that mean I'm happy? Why is it wrong to be
no,
excited? What could go
right.
wrong with excitement?
Uh-huh.
And
So,
we can burn out, right? We stay so
mhm.
high elevated, we just like fizzle out.
Mhm.
If you think about it, when you were a kid, right, and you're just
Right.
excited and you're waiting for mom and dad to get ready because we're about to go somewhere, they're taking so long. Before you
Mhm.
even leave, you're tired and you're wondering, wait a minute, why am I tired? With the day
Well,
hasn't even started.
right. Yes. Right. It's where we put our minds. It's the energy that we give it to without really seeing, without seeing, you know?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Wonderful. Thank you for that. And
Yeah, you're welcome.
if it looks like I'm chewing a lot, I put my braces down and there's a bunch of
Oh, okay.
cedar. There's a bunch of cedar on my table
Uh,
and I just
uh,
put a whole bunch of cedar in my mouth.
uh-huh.
So I'm sorry if
Hey,
I look crazy right now. I got
no.
cedar in my mouth.
Hey, whatever works.
I
It
guess my
makes you,
insides needed cleansing.
hey, whatever makes you smile. That's all that matters.
That's all that
That,
matters.
that's
Okay.
all
I
that
love it.
matters.
We're going to go and build everybody's energy up now before we get into your story time. And
All right.
so I'm going to ask you and the viewers at home, where are you at energetically in this exact moment from 1
Hmm.
to 10? 1 being this is the least amount of energy I can hold in my body, 10 being this is the most amount of energy in my body. Just think about that for a moment. Put your
Hmm.
comment section in the comment section below if you're watching at home, and Sean's going to come right back and tell you what he's feeling. And I got the rest of the cedar out of my mouth. Sean, where are you at from 1 to 10?
I think I'm at a 6. I'm moving. I'm busy, but I'm leaving this extra space for my creativity. Especially after being 2222. Just a lot of things elevating and people coming into their power. A lot of people have deeper callings that maybe they were fearful of, and this is the time and the now to do that. So sometimes the things that we used to be able to do to keep us busy, we need to drop that stuff so we can make more space for the things that we really called to do. you know
Absolutely. That's
so
coming back to that temperance energy, coming back to that
yep.
balance energy. Today my day started at 10 and we filmed all day. Then I went to get my touch up from my migraines, and then I'm going to go to
Okay.
the basketball later.
Basketball.
But I'm at a good 9 right now, so I feel
Are
pretty
you
strong in
okay?
my energy. Um, Yesterday was a whirlwind. I just felt like the whole day was just like elevated, super elevated, really high
Hmm.
vibe, cutting a lot of things out of the life. Did a little
Hmm.
ceremony for myself to track that proper timeline. Yeah,
Right,
timeline
right,
shifting. That was the day for
right.
that yesterday. And let's see what you
That's what's
guys at
up.
home are feeling from 1 to 10. Dad's at a 7. And Miss Cindy says she is at an 8. So let me know in the comment section below where you guys are at. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. You're going to hear a bell. And if this is your first time watching, go ahead and put your palms face up in your lap and your feet flat on the ground when you hear the bell. We're going to breathe for 60 seconds. And since we had that temperance card today, I think it might be a good idea to use some of her key words just as a reminder. So let's intend to bring harmony and avoid excess in this 1 minute of reflection. Okay, everybody. And so we're gonna put that on now and prepare. All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Eyes are closed. And let's go ahead and take our first breath in. And we're inviting harmony into the inner world, into our inner landscape, and just breathe that balance into you. Nice, slow inhale, full belly expansion. Allow yourself to soften. On your natural exhale, release what no longer serves you. On the next natural inhale, bring in the knowing of avoiding excess. Let yourself recognize any excess in your body right now. Breathe through it and then release it on the exhale. Beautiful energy coming in. One more breath in. Beautiful harmony, inviting the masculine and feminine sides to merge here, not one greater than the other, and exhaling and releasing what no longer serves us. And just have a moment of gratitude for where you are in this moment. Bring that left and the right hand to touch into the center of your palms. Bring it to your heart space, and I bow to you all. Namaste. And when you're feeling ready, come back to the here and the now and opening your eyes. And please don't stand because you might feel blissful and that could feel lightheaded and you could potentially injure yourself. So just hang out where you are and just let it flow. All right, Sean, where are you at energetically now? And you guys at home, put in the comment section below, where did you shift to from 1 to 10? And if you felt something, what did you feel? Hot, cold, tingling, pressure? Did you see colors? Did you feel presence? Did you feel anything that you would associate as not a positive energy? That's fine too. Things release out of the body so they can feel somatic. And let me know in the comment section below where you guys are at. All right, Sean, where are you at energetically now? You were a 6.
I misheard you when you were talking about where you check in, where you at. But I would say I was about a like 7.5, but now I'm about a 9. I feel very
Wonderful.
grounded, very empty, but full. I feel the flow, So, you know, I'm ready to share some story and some wisdom.
Fantastic. I love that. I'm empty but full. That's wonderful. Cindy says dad is at a 9 now,
That's what's up.
and she, I guess, is at a 7. I feel I am at, oh, she's at a 9. Okay. I feel like I'm at a 10, 10 plus.
Oh,
There was
woo.
there's a little bit of release right here for me. And then I
Mm-hmm.
still feel like a boring of a vortex coming in, and I feel heat expanding through me. So I feel good. I
Oh
do not
wow,
feel grounded.
beaming. You are.
I feel the polar opposite.
you
I feel like
you're
I
ready
feel
to fly.
I am. I feel like I'm just gonna fly away now. All right.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gents, we're gonna get into the story time now. Get the popcorn, get a piece of paper. Sean's about to throw in some wisdom. So
Yep.
Sean, you can take your drink, prepare, and we're about to get into it. All right, everybody,
Okay.
let's go.
So again, thank you, Dominic, for sharing this beautiful story. As I begin to share this story, it might not sound so beautiful, but again, as everybody knows, that everything happens for a reason. And in sharing this story, we all have to embrace the dark and the light through this dark night of the soul, which became my calling to serve. So, as a child, like any, I was pretty, happy kid, very loving. But my parents had gotten divorced I was a very young age of 3 years old. And through that divorce, I remember at moments of, looking at the sun through the sky, or even I remember like this sunflower and the petals, which brought me this like innocence of joy. But the rest of the relationship of my parents, I had these moments of them fighting, and I felt very this sadness in my soul, at a very young age. And then my mom we all moved on, and my mom had gotten remarried to my stepdad that's now today, and when I was about 7 years old. And through that, at that age, it's like I had this intuitive knowing, like, this is not good. Like, this is going to be a very challenge of a time. I even think of begging my mom not to do this at that age, to get remarried. But to her, this was a man who had stability, who was a very intelligent man, who was hardworking, a genius, self-made man. So those aspects of him, I admired, of him taking care of us. But because of all his backstory, since he was abused, then that transferred into me getting abused mentally and physically. So and in these lessons that I've also had learned, it was very difficult. You have to, now that I'm older, to have compassion for him, because I wasn't, let's say, the smartest kid in the school. I had a really hard time reading and writing. I was in special education. So not only it's like me knowing that I wasn't good in school and what was I going to do in my life, then I also had, the challenge of my stepfather trying to do his best, but because he thought, instead of loving me and being more understanding, it's like trying to force someone to be smart, or force someone to be to get stuff, and that transferred into resentment, later on in my adult life.
Yeah, I
So
could imagine, like it's like a conditional love.
yeah.
Perform, and I'll love you. And if you don't
Mhm.
perform, then I take the love away.
Exactly. So, sometimes I think being a man or even being a kid, I could, in my mind, I could take the hitting or the physical abuse. But I
Mm.
thought for me, what hurt most was more the mental of me that carried on of not being good enough. You know what I mean? Or the codependent on my father for work, for jobs, or, again, later on in life. So, this went on to about, let's say, 10 years old. It got really bad, and I tried to commit suicide at 10 years old. And my mom, um, found me trying to kill myself, and she basically saved me. And that kind of shook things up a little bit. And my mom said, things will get better. Don't worry about it. But it just didn't get better. Like, it got better short term, but like long term, it didn't. So it just, like, what was I to do? I felt lost. I didn't feel smart. I didn't feel loved. And so another aha moment that I didn't find out later in my relationships, and I know a lot of people can relate to this until they have their aha moment, that is that, that a mother and a father, or a person that gets, your mother or father gets remarried, you think that, wow, marriage means love. But for me, love meant equaled pain.
Wow.
So if I got close to you, to want to, whether, any type of relationship, if I loved you enough, I had a chance of getting hurt. So that, again, later on in my adult life, I never let people get too close to me, because I was afraid that they would betray me, they would lie to me. And those things did happen, which reinforced my wound, you
Hmm.
know? So then I end up kind of staying to myself and doing things on my own. And so, getting back to further on, and say my, I guess around 13, then I had gone through sexual abuse. So my went to visit my dad in Tennessee, is where he lived. And it was like, basically, I was all into sports. I played every sport known to man. It was very good at all of them. And this guy was like all state basketball player, and he ended up being my babysitter. So things happen how they happen, but my dad, my dad wasn't there. He didn't really do much. He didn't, like, he went to the parents, but I felt like he could have done something more. And then not only did my, stepdad disappoint me in that time, then I felt like my dad didn't protect me, you know? So
Wow.
that's something that weighed heavy on my heart in my life. Um, and then as I scoot on, later, now I'm almost an adult. I'm in high school. I'm a star wrestler, this and that. And then I'm like, my parents are like, "What do you want to do with your life?" They tried the military. I couldn't pass the test, thank God. I didn't like to take orders, so that wouldn't have worked out. So, but being in that, one thing I found good at being sports is that, lifting weights and, getting my body strong. And so being that I was a good athlete, I like to fight, so I
Mm,
was a very short fused kind of person, even though I was a nice guy.
I could
And
imagine you
so,
were carrying a lot.
yes, yeah, I never once knew how to heal. I didn't go to therapy or anything like that. Um, so in that, I went to training school to be a personal trainer and then massage therapist. And then I ended up, a friend of mine that was a model got me into model. So all my life, it went from no confidence to like, I'm the body, and now I get all this attention. So it went from one
Mm,
extreme to the other. And then I'm looking in the mirror all the time trying to get better and better, but I'm not good enough, and then base my value on my body and what I look like and how people perceive me to be. And that just drew me in this spiral, this up high and this low high, because everybody has an opinion of you.
yeah, and I
You
could
get,
imagine on those days where you were actually feeling vulnerable, how nobody would meet the merit because
right.
you were so outwardly focused.
Hmm.
And you probably didn't
Yep.
let anyone in to allow them to see that part of you. So that just added to your
Hmm.
suffering.
Yeah, to my suffering, and a lot of it was self-inflicted because then I became self-absorbed. It's everything about Sean, and a lot of it, some was like unconscious because I ultimately thought I was definitely a pretty nice guy, and even a nice guy to women I dated. But because I couldn't let them get close enough, then I would just shut down. So through that type of pattern that I was going through, I got into drugs, alcohol, sex, all that, that disaster of a turn that I went through in my 20s up into my 30s, and to the point to where I went through some really heavy drugs. And to the point where here we go again. I'm not worthless. I'm just a body. No one really loves me for me.
Mm.
I don't have a college degree. I have a hard time reading, writing. All these things are coming up for me, and that whole story in my mind is, well, what's life worth again? So then I'm contemplating, checking out again, and then I had a conversation with my mom, which had helped me a little bit. This was kind of like coming out of work when I was working construction at that time, and I was asking God, please just help me. And it was funny because it went from, it was a nice day, and then it was like a dreary day. So as I'm like talking to God, it starts to rain, you know. So I'm feeling the cleanse, and it's
Yeah.
starting to rain down even harder, and I'm just totally losing it. Just, I'm done with it. I'm sorry, God, just help me. I need purpose. I just don't know what to do. And then boom, I get hit with this energy shifts, and then I'm just like paralyzed in love. This deep, deep like God love. And then all of a sudden, the first time, I didn't know what third eye. You feel that?
I got
Yeah.
goosebumps all from head to toe.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I didn't know what a third eye was, but I did in that time. And so all of a sudden my third eye lit up, and I saw all this light that like I couldn't even see. And then I heard this inner voice say, "Sean, you're a healer. Follow me." And then in that one moment, like everything went away. My depression, my addiction, I knew I was already massaging, massage therapy. I knew that I had this gift to heal, but I needed the guidance, you know. And but the point in that moment in me asking, I received my life, you know. I received this unconditional love that the divine gave me another chance, just to truly love myself and give me purpose that I didn't need from my stepdad. I didn't need from my mom. I didn't need it from anybody. I just needed to ask God within myself. And that's when life just began. That's when a new beginning and a new Sean emerged into the light, out like a phoenix, burning fire, just letting the layers of my old self go. And therefore I was so grateful in that moment. And that's when I just started hearing these small little voices showing, keep quiet, showing meditate. And I'm like, okay, so what do? I go to YouTube, just kind of doing my self study. I didn't really
Yes.
go a teacher yet, so I started studying Buddhism, not to become Buddhist, but just to practice. Started studying qigong, and these things on my own, and then therefore in those studies I just became more peaceful, more grounded. I had that inner smile and that inner knowing that I was truly connected to anything and everything, and I had about nothing. I had and I forgot in my story, and another thing that had happened, that I never really gambled at all, but because my mind was so lost and I was so dark, I almost lost everything. I mean, almost like zero in my bank account. This is again 15 whatever years ago, but still, like, I was in such a dark place. It drove me into this place where it's like my ego was you know, trying to truly destroy me, and I was listening to it. But fast forward back to in this higher state, I decided to go to San Diego. A friend of mine was out there. I needed a vacation. And so, studying meditation and Qigong, all these synchronicities started happening. So as I got there, I literally put my bags down and I went to go get a cup of coffee or whatever. And then I heard these birds going crazy, and I'm like, what's going on over there? I'm like, and then I look down and I see a Qigong studio. And I'm like, I never even knew what qigong was. I just started, like, looking at it on YouTube. It popped up as a recommended thing to watch, and then now it's right in front of me.
Was this a place that you had probably passed by before, and then all of a sudden it's there?
It's there all of a sudden, like it just, and then in that experience and being there, I actually, after I was done, a couple of days later, I had walked across the street and was talking to my mom, and all of a sudden, I mean, I've had deja vu for, like, seconds or whatever. This felt like it lasted about 30 seconds. It's like all of a sudden I
Mm.
turned. It's like my mom's voice became far away, and it's like I knew that I had been here before. And like it
Mm.
was like such a, you still get goosebumps over that. But in that, in finding this qigong studio place, I was kind of nervous. I didn't want to take a class and a bunch of people, so I ended up taking a private. And in that moment, I knew, by studying, learning about my breath, my body, and energy, and that was like the base, and how I was able to heal myself and be able to ultimately help other people heal their bodies. So in that journey, that I was there, I was having these energies come up that necessarily weren't. I didn't feel that were the most positive. I didn't know what it was. So I had gone back home, and I was studying. I actually went back to school for my massage school. So I did go to massage school, but I didn't. Susan was the school part. I actually left the school because I was afraid, and it didn't push myself, And
Wow.
so later on, I actually went and got my national, and of course, graduated my national certification. But in that, I was having a friend that was helping me, and I went to, as she was helping me, I was like, here, let's take a break. So as she took a break, I took like a little nap. All of a sudden, I heard something come out of my mouth. I didn't know what it was. It was like they say, speaking in tongues. That's what it kind of sounds like. But it didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. So I called a friend of mine. It was a friend of mine that was a minister or whatever, and I'm like, kind of told him what happened or whatever over the phone, and he's like, here, let me start praying for you.
Huh.
So even though I'm spiritual slash Christian, like, he starts praying for me, but when he said, in the blood of Jesus, my whole body went nuts. And I mean, like something like possessed
Wow.
at that time. And as this happened, I had to close the door as my friend was coming in, and it scared her. And at the time, my roommate, they were like two little girls, like on the couch, like, oh my God, what the heck's going on? So and reason why this happening to go back to my story is that most people don't experience this. I know there's a deeper purpose because I'm built for this. I was supposed to have this experience happen, and I use this to help people. So in this experience, this energy was picked up from me doing these heavy drugs, from me doing these
Mm,
self-sabotage ways, is that we
mm,
can get these attachments. And some people, it could be very subtle. It could give space. It could be negativity in the mind. It's not just the ego. Is that we pick up these negative energies, and they tell us to do things that aren't really for our highest good. So so in that, fast forward, and as I woke up, this energy was still there, but it was like the last residence in me truly healing myself. You know, truly heal myself, taking on this last bit that was trying to hold on to the old Sean. Was trying to get him back to self sabotage himself so that I couldn't be the man that I'm meant to be. So I couldn't help
mm,
humanity. So I couldn't relate and help kids through abuse that I do now. So this was a gift. This was a true gift that this entity had come up. So this lasted about a year. I had to work with it. And I went to different healers and spiritual teachers, and they helped in their own right. But the last spiritual teacher was just straight up with me when I went back to San Diego. She says, "I'm going to meet you up on the mountaintop." They had this huge, beautiful Christ cross or whatever. I met with her and her father, who was an ordained minister, and they're like, "Sean, you can go to many healers as you want, but you have to heal yourself. This is something that you have to go in and do, and not have someone just magically take it out of you." So she said, when you do your meditation or your qigong or whatever the energy flow that you're doing, you have to visualize the blood of Christ washing this energy over you, or divine energy. Call your guides in and be able to release this. So
mm.
I did. I was committed every day. Still, I was helping myself and teaching qigong and meditation and all this. And then when I had gone home, I never had at that time, I never had a channeling done before. I didn't even know what that really was. Now I do.
Yeah.
uh, I went to a group channeling with my mom and 5 other friends and family just for fun. So this lady, Margaret Claire, which she's one of my closest friends and one of my first mentor. She sat in front of me, gave her my name, and the very first thing she said was that this entity was gone from your soul, and now with great power comes great responsibility. And I just
Mm,
cried, and it's finally over. And like this energy trying to, get me back to the old Sean. This story's ending, and now that I can fully come into myself and use this, as an experience to be able to one day help other people, which I've done quite a few spiritual healings with people who've had entities, here
wow.
and also other countries. And So I looked at it as a gift. Yeah, some people listening might think, "Oh, this is crazy," or "This is weird," or "You're still dark," or something like that. But
Mm,
no, it's just energy. It's just energy. It's all part of this story for the higher growth, because there's a person, whether you're a kid, a young adult, or whatever. There's going to be someone that's going through something that's just like you, and you can judge it to be extreme as you want, and it's a judgment. But I know that I can relate to a lot of people because I've been through a lot. And I'm using it to help humanity for these experiences that, it's definitely pretty wild, for sure. It's not the ordinary, but I look at it as a blessing, is part of the story that made me who I am today, you know.
wow.
So
This
yeah.
that's an amazing, beautiful story, Sean, and I feel like
Mhm.
that's going to resonate with so many people in
Mhm.
their own right. And so, if you guys are really vibing with Sean, go ahead and selfishly promote yourself now, because that's what we're here to do,
Uh,
to help each
okay.
other. So,
Uh-huh.
go ahead, Sean. Let them know how they can get a hold of you.
So yeah, you can get me. My website is SeanJonesHealing.com. It's the same thing on Facebook. You can call me at any time. My phone number is 215-516-9894. I offer numerous classes from meditation, Qigong. I also am teaching conscious relationship for couples and singles. I'm a Reiki master teacher. I'm also teaching Thai massage. All these things I group together. I'm also doing a men's group and breath work workshops as well. So if it's something that you want to do for your higher calling, please feel free to reach out to me. And if you also want to have any other questions about my story, this is a few stories amongst other stories. If you love this type of spiritual stories, then please reach out to me.
Love it. Thank you, Sean, for that. Fantastic.
Yeah,
Let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions for Sean while we're going through the rest of the episode. And of course, we're going to now switch gears a little bit here, and we're going to do the question of the day. So let's see what the reveal is. Alrighty, so here is the question of the day. And this is for you, Sean, and for you all at home. And here it is. The question is, who or what defines the contents of my life?
Who or what defines the content of my life? I would say the actions in which I come from my soul
Is
would
what
be the
defines your
content.
life?
The content of my life, because I come from my soul essence, and that is the defining of who I am and what I do in my life. You know, I move where spirit moves, tells me to move, and for that I come from that higher place of love.
Oh, that's beautiful. And what do you guys think at home if you have an answer for this question here? You know, when you guys play out fully, you learn about yourself. There is no wrong answer here. So feel free to jot that in the comment section below. I would love to know what your thoughts are on this. I feel like for myself, I feel like for myself, when I sit with something, I can define it however I want. If I sit with it long enough, something that maybe I have perceived as bad, I can change it and appreciate it and witness it and love it and nurture it and then change what it means to me. So sometimes we grow up holding on to patterns from our past, and then we just hold that in for so long that we don't dare to even view it. And then we're taking a facet of ourselves and suppressing it. And so I feel like when I'm able to sit with that and spirit, that I'm able to see truly what these facets are and what they mean to me and my personality and my personal expression of who I am. So I think that's what my answer is for today for this particular question, because I feel like it's kind of like a tricky question.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a little tricky
That's
question.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you're trying to think of how like the spectator view is on this question almost. Like, is it morals? Is it like, what is it exactly, you know? And I think we have our permission to give ourselves validation, to give ourselves the permission to define it however we want, right? We can look at some cultures and be like, sensuality is bad. Oh no. You know, and then you have like Tantra yoga. And it's just like, no, sensuality is good. You know, so we have the chance to shift that to whatever we need it to be. But I feel like as long as we're doing it from a loving place, from an open place, that's when we are really going to see it for what it is. Like you said, the spirit. Let's see here. Robert says, hi, Robert. I have to sit with that. The fact I was watching Richard Hart and Peter Schiff go at it, forgetting that it was Wednesday night. Okay, so you come into the seeker's room later, Robert, and you put your answer in there when you have it. I would love to hear, because Robert always comes on and has the best questions in general. All right. Okay, so let's go into our midweek collective energy check-in, and then we're going to be right back with the messages for the week. All right, here we have the very first card of the night. And we have the Magician card. That is so funny. We have the Magician card. Please, Magician, stand at attention. Archangel Raziel, it says you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them, and life is magical here. Is giving us responsibility of what we want to create. It's not saying wait for happenstance. It's not saying wait for the right timing. It's not saying there's someone else going to do it for you. You are actively doing it yourself in this moment by your thoughts, the frequency that you're putting out. So we are in the number one energy here, which is a beginning energy, and we are allowing ourselves to dive into that masculine energy so that we can manifest. All right. And the next card we have is Demeter, Harvest. So the things that we are attempting to manifest, we're going to allow them to take seed, to take root. Demeter is the mother of Persephone. And when Persephone goes into the underworld, she becomes saddened, and therefore we have winter. And then when Persephone comes back, she is happy again, and then spring arrives, and beautiful things begin to grow and to blossom here. So I feel like with this Magician card and Demeter being present, it's kind of like though there was a time for sorrow, there was a time for stillness, there was a time for rest, and now we're coming into that time of now focusing, putting our seeds into the ground and letting our love pour into those things so that way they themselves can become something, so that they themselves can be tangible, so that they can grow, and so that we can reap the harvest of our actions. We have this card. It is a lot of energy coming in right now. And it says, don't let the past hold you back. Just like that winter card, this is signifying something that is now behind us. And it's interesting because spring is right around the corner, and the days are getting longer, and the weather's getting warmer. And that moment of sitting at home, snuggling in a blanket, ignoring the rest of the world, that's kind of like going away now, right? But this, don't let this past hold you back. In your South Node is South Node being the node of emotions, is saying, don't let those old emotions stop you from planting new seeds. Don't let those old emotions stop you from tapping into your power, and then knowing that there's something new on the horizon for you that you yourself are going to have to activate. Like Sean was saying, he activated that within himself, and then everything around him started to shift. He had to become his own healer. He couldn't wait for something to happen on his behalf. And don't let the history of your past saying, well, I failed back then, or there's limited beliefs or limited programming inside of us that were placed in our past that we're carrying into the future. If you don't want to carry that bag and you don't see yourself holding onto that bag 5 years from now, then just drop the bag. Drop the bag of emotions, drop the bag of the past. It no longer serves you. It has outlived its purpose, and it's time to let it go. And there's so much here to be grateful for and to experience, but we have to be willing to step into that energy. We have the shape shifter here with the clouds energy. And this is letting us know you have the potential to become whatever you desire to become. You got to do the work. That way you can, if you put in the work, something will grow from it. If you put the seeds in the ground, maybe you don't have a field full of flowers, but maybe you'll get a bouquet. It's the fact that you took the time and to work on it. Shape shifting, you might even become something that you could have never imagined. So allow yourself to be softened like these clouds, and recognizing that we are observers in our life, and that we have every time we observe, we have a moment of calibration occurring that allows us to start to shift and calibrate ourselves to the journey in which we're walking and who we like to become. Ooh, talking about who we want to become, we have the Traveler card, and it says moving in a new direction. Love this. And I really like her hoodie. I'm kind of wondering if I can get it too. But with that Magician card, we also have the new direction with the Magician with number one. So we have two confirmation here. With Demeter and the Harvest, this is a beginning. We're seeding something. So this is a beginning once again. And you're moving in a new direction. Allow yourself to be that adventurer, to nurture that adventurer side of you. This is why I have the Seekers Challenge Room. Because when we take these small steps of adventure, bigger, much more bigger adventure comes to us, because now we're calibrating to that. And within that adventure is the unknown. There in these unknown experiences, you see her smiling here. She's happy, she's content. This is serving her energy here. And with these bigger experiences, she's more fulfilled. She can discover more of herself, but she has to be willing and courageous to take those steps and has to be willing to experience it regardless of what the outcome is. All right. Very wonderful energy here. Oh, look at this. And then as our outcome card, we have the lover's energy. And this can be actually finding a partner, a soulmate, or allowing yourself to connect more deeply within our own inner world, that loving world, balancing that masculine and that feminine energy as well. I'm taking that from the card we had earlier, which is temperance, because to me, this feels like this is a harmony of the masculine and the energy entwining here to become whole, to become healed, to become fulfilled, and a lot of love energy coming in for this today. Seeking you shall find, because what you are seeking is seeking you in return. Talking about love energy, because I know some of you are like, Oracle, you know the lover's card doesn't mean that, right? It doesn't matter. This is a channeling. We have Angel Cassiel blessing you with love, because Cassiel's like, I heard her and I know she was right about that. I know she was right about that, even though this doesn't really represent that. But Angel Cassiel blessing the collective with love energy coming in. So make sure you're claiming. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just real quick here point out we got Angel Cassiel blessing love two times, the masculine and the feminine. Even though this card doesn't mean that. The masculine and the feminine. And you guys know when there's the same angel blessing coming up, the angel blesses us twice. It's I said what I said. I mean what I said. I'm claiming that right now. So go ahead and claim that energy in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts are. The angels always want to work with you, uplift you, and help you, but they respect your free will. So make sure you invite them in and bring that love in whatever form that comes in. Be the adventurer, be Indiana Jones, be Carmen Sandiego. Go out there, embody that adventure, and let it happen. Invite it in and just be in love. Be in love with yourself, be in love with the world, be in love with the day. Be love, and love will surely find you, no matter what corner of the world you think you're hiding in with those walls you may have put up. All right, let's bring Sean back up on here. Hello, Sean, taking you through a whirlwind reading today.
That was powerful. Woo.
Oh man,
they were spot on for me.
Yeah, what was resonating for you today?
I would have to say between the magician and then just within the new years of the seasons, everything that's passing and then regrowing, and I'm in the space of creating and have these ideas that are going to permit me to be able to travel. So and through that, I'm loving myself, deeply in this balance of masculine and feminine to be able to serve. Just stepping into my power, truly stepping in my power, loving myself, giving my true path back to myself. And through that, I will reap the rewards of all that I do.
I know that's right. I see you guys claiming that in the comment section. Hold on. There you go. That's for all the people claiming it at home. Yeah. Let's clear the energy out, and you guys go ahead and just receive that energy in there. Wow. And where are you manifesting travel to, if I may ask?
Colombia.
What's in Colombia?
I've worked there a couple times, but because of the pandemic and everything, I work with a couple of doctors that are there with people have sicknesses to depression and all that. So yeah, I've worked in the hospitals. They take me around to people's homes. I've taught, like I said, Qigong and meditation and doing Reiki and healing for, hundreds of people. So now that things are opening back up, I'm looking forward to going back.
Wow, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, Zipaquirá.
Zipaquirá?
Yeah, in Colombia. Yeah.
Wow.
Country. Yeah.
Talk about the new direction in travel. So that must be opening up for you. It has to be. As a matter of fact, let me pull you a card. Hold on. Okay. Let's pull a card just for Sean here.
Okay, all right.
Let's see what we get. Okay, it says fear surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others. All right, so we need to let that go. And then contentment, peace, abundance, a
Ah,
happy home
perfect.
life, successful completion of a
Yeah.
project.
That's yeah. That's well. Even I mean, even the first one makes sense because sometimes I'm not willing to let people help me. It's
Mm,
you know, so for that, if me allowing people to do that, sometimes I don't want to bother people, and sometimes it's just I feel like it's because I've been of my let's say my confidence my whole life. I'm like I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to do it on my own. But then now recently I've been allowing people in more to be able to help me, and it's a lot of things have shifted because of that.
that makes perfect sense. And I was just having a conversation recently where I was saying when we have great purpose, we need the manpower. So we start to
Witty.
think of it like that. Wait, my
Mhm.
purpose is so big, it has to be collective. And then
Mhm.
we kind of just drop that I can do it all myself. And I feel like when we have a childhood that's very wounded, we become
Mhm.
hyper independent. So it's like we have to do it, we have to prove it to ourselves.
Mhm.
But we ultimately heal that and just soften those walls and allow
That's it.
people to come in and assist. But that Colombia trip sounds amazing. I'm just saying,
Yeah. It is. Columbia's beautiful.
if you need some help, you let me know. We got
Yeah, no, wait, totally. Yeah, we the first trip that I went to, we had yoga, healers, and then food healing.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, and they're super, open for different types of gifts and stuff. So I'm definitely would like a crew of different people who do all different types of beautiful gifts and bring them to the country. So definitely,
That's
I
wonderful.
got
I think it's amazing too that you said there were doctors there
yeah,
that are working with that. It's just to
yeah,
show you like how things are like accelerating, things are moving, and how
hmm
this is becoming more widely accepted. Um,
yep.
it's not
Sh-
quantifiable.
no, no, no. Yeah, shaman slash MDs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Take these pills, and here's this rattle.
yeah. I love it.
We gotta
Call me
hit
in the
it from the
morning.
yes, exactly. Sean, is there a message that we have 2 minutes left? Is there a message that you may want to drop off for the if anybody was going through what you went through, that you feel like somebody needs to hear today?
Uh, yeah, I believe people just need to seek more within their heart and not their mind. There's a deeper dimension of self love within the self that is there to heal you, to nurture you, to give you that higher wisdom that you knew you never had. And sometimes not all of us have a parent or have the guidance of another. But I do know through all the hardship that I have is that when I got rid of even my family, there the moment that I went through the dark night of the soul, when I was alone within myself, spirit was there, and
Mm,
within that self I found the most love, not outside myself. I found it within myself. So the path is within, the path to your happiness, the path to your purpose, the path to want to be able to hear spirit and to be able to take the steps you need to live your best life. It all starts from within.
wow. Thank you for summarizing that, Sean. I'm gonna pop you in the back room and I'll see you in a moment. Everyone, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you are liking, subscribing. We are live streaming every Sunday and Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And if you have a divine experience that you want to share, email me at divineencounters@e360.com. Now, let me go to my corner and finish this show up. Let's go. Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please email Divine Encounters at e360tv.com. And together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor. What a great episode we had today. I feel like the whole message of today, if you surrender, something will shift, okay? Something has to give in that moment of surrender. If you don't know where you're at, you don't know what you're doing, Just surrender. Ask that is greater than yourself, regardless of whatever label you're using, to come into you, to help you, to show you, to support you, to elevate you. And you just might find that you were loved all along. Go forward and create divine experiences. May you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back. Ciao.
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels the most, just hold on. Just hold on.